welcome to Work the Left Side. It's AEW weekend, it is Full Gear, so of course that means we're going to talk about the matches. Obviously it means Mr. AEW is here. I don't get to talk to him as much as I like these days, but we always make time for AEW shows. The Bosch, Mr. Ash, how's it going?
Greetings, humans. Yeah, doing good. How are you doing?
Gravy, mate. Absolute gravy. Just hectic.
I like
Sort of seems like just interview after interview at the minute, which is kind of obviously things like this kind of get put to the wayside sometimes, and it's I hold my hands up. But we're here. It's Full Gear at the weekend, and yeah, dude, it's looking like a stacked card. Before we hit record, obviously we were talking there's probably going to be one or two matches announced tonight on Rampage and Collision, which we obviously don't know about. So, yeah, that'll be a mystery and a pleasant surprise for us. But the matches we do know about, obviously, we can discuss.
Yeah, for sure. Where do you want to start? Like towards kind of where you think the bottom of the card and work the way up, or
we'll go sort of not where we think it's going to be on the card, but we'll go for least excited about to most excited about.
Least excited about. Right. Well, let me just.
All the matches seem pretty, but there's a few contenders we like there. Okay.
Let's start with a bang. So, Swerve and Hangman 2 Texas Death Match.
Ooh. I'm quite excited about this. In all honesty.
Yeah. The match at Wrestle Dream was fucking spectacular, if you ask me. So I am buzzing for this. I'm glad they're carrying it on because rematches aren't a often thing in AEW. But yeah, I'm loving this feud. It's really, really good. It's like kind of brought Hangman back to, being the top star that he is kind of thing, relit the fire kind of thing. Swerve's so good as well, and we all love a bit of Prince Nana. The guy's hilarious. So yeah, I'm excited for this, and I don't really look forward to death matches all that much, but this should be excellent.
Yeah, a Texas death match isn't really, obviously it's still going to be brutal, but we're not talking exploding barbed wire, we're not talking exploding tables, it will more just be like foreign objects and basically. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be too cringy, but I think there'll still be a few ooh moments.
Sure.
But yeah, man, Swerve is leveled up recently. Obviously this feud with Hangman is just elevated him in my opinion.
Yeah. We need more of these real big feuds because there was a video I watched recently and it was just like the Tony Khan's reluctance to book the big names together all that often, and then like the next day it was Hangman and Swerve, and granted it's not like main event, but these guys are main event potential. And one's being a world champion, and I fully expect Swerve, if he carries on this trajectory, to be a future world champion. So good. Yeah. So yeah, more of these big name feuds, please. Very much so.
Definitely. Swerve. Who'd have thunk it? Really? Obviously, we all kind of knew the guy had potential. We knew kind of how good he was, but for some reason, it's never really been spotlighted. Obviously, when he was in the team with Keith Lee was, the main event kind of, unlimited, unintended. But he's kind of dropped off the radar. Again, don't know why, booking, blah, blah, blah. But Swerve's come out of that team as the star.
Yeah, dude, for sure. When he was released a couple of years ago, I was speaking to my friend, and I'm just like, AEW needs Swerve. Like, they need Swerve Strickland, and here we are, 2 years further down the line, and he's literally one of the best things about the company at the moment. So, hell yeah, guys, great, love it.
Remind me, for people who don't know, who won the last match? It was Swerve won it by Gaga.
Swerve won the match. Yeah, I forget exactly how it went down. I feel like there was some kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, it was Gaga, definitely.
Yeah. All I remember is that I left that match feeling very, very happy. It was great match. So Round 2. Let's go.
Page for this one then, to make it 1-1, and hopefully we get the rubber match.
With the story of obviously Swerve went into Hangman's house and made it very personal, I do think Hangman will get the win back. Yeah, because it would be weird the heel doing that and then getting the win again.
Yeah,
Hanger for me.
Traditionally, the bad guy's got to get his comeuppance, and that'll, like I said, that'll level the playing field at 1-1. So, hopefully then we'll get a third match, and it's open season basically. It could go to anyone. Obviously, Page is, as you said, former world champion. I would like to say he doesn't need the rub or the push, but I think he's kind of dropped off a hell of a lot since losing the belt. So maybe he does need the feud victory to elevate him back. But if he doesn't, and Swerve gets it, the 2-1, that's Swerve skyrocket.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of Swerve's thing against Hangman. Like, you've gone soft, or you're just not as serious as you once were, kind of thing. You're wearing jeans with butterflies on and all this kinds of stuff. And so the whole point was to bring Hangman back to this level kind of thing. So I love it. Like, it's elevating them both simultaneously, which is what it's all about. So great stuff.
Exactly. So Page for me wins this. I don't know, you agree? What's the next one?
Let's go with the Golden Jets, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks, the winner of which will be the number 1 contender for the tag titles. You go first.
I don't want to see either of these guys or either of these teams as number 1 contender, unless it's to give Starks and Big Bill the rub. Because I'm hoping, obviously we'll talk further about it when we talk about that match, but I'm hoping, they're still champs to face whoever wins this match, kind of thing. But I don't know. Obviously, it's a weird one because you've got Omega versus the Bucks. It's the elite on opposite side of the ring, with a little bit of Jericho mixed in for good measure.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't get into Jericho and Omega teaming. Like, if there's a story behind it and there's going to be something building towards kind of thing, then fair enough. But I just personally don't want to see it, because I just want to see Kenny Omega in a singles match or within the elite doing something. I just don't want to see Chris Jericho kind of not weigh him down, but like I'm a bit cold on Chris Jericho recently. I'm just a bit, overexposure kind of thing. He's not taking any time off in what seems like the entire history of the company. So I'm a bit like, I need a bit of a make me miss you kind of thing. But he's just fair play. He's got amazing work ethic and all that kind of stuff. But I would much rather see Kenny Omega doing something else. But the Young Bucks kind of turned heel on Dynamite. Did you catch that?
I did not. No. I saw the face-to-face. I didn't just get quite the gist of what was being said.
They had a match on Dynamite. Who the hell was it? It was against Penta and Commander, and the Bucks kicked them in the dick right in front of the ref. So is that a heel turn, or is it just kind of like the prelude to a heel turn kind of thing? And then obviously they had the face off backstage, and that. I don't want to see the Elite break up again already, because they've only been back together a few months, and it was like an amazing fucking moment watching them like reunite. So I don't know. I'm a bit like, I don't know what to think with this one. Like, if the Bucks have turned heel, then I expect the Bucks to win. But then something just tells me the Golden Jets are gonna fucking win, and they're gonna get the push kind of thing. So I'm a bit like, I'm not really sure which side I'd rather. I mean, heel Bucks are better than face Bucks. Let's be honest, because people treat them like they're natural heels in the day-to-day life, so they might as well just fucking milk it through the characters and that, for sure. So anyway,
but if the Bucks win, that to me would imply Starks and Big Bill are going to lose, because it would be heel on heel kind of thing. Unless the Bucks are just turning heel purely for this match, just so they can keep the basic face versus heel dynamic mindset of the match. After the match, they'll be face again. But yeah, I kind of can't see Jericho and Omega losing this. So again, I don't know. It's like you sort of said about the Jericho thing. I mean, obviously it's a bit different now because he's working as a face, which is the first time he's done that since AEW started. He's been a heel since day one.
Mm-hmm.
So, face Jericho. To be fair, there isn't really much different to heel Jericho. It's just different opponents.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Did you see I forget the name of the game, the street fight on Dynamite? Did you see that this week? I thought that was really entertaining. And can I just say, Kota Ibushi riding a bicycle, hitting people with a lead pipe. Like, I've seen people slating it mercilessly on social media, but I laughed my arse off and I had a great time. So fuck those miserable bastards. It's meant to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Just allow yourself to be entertained. Stop micromanaging everybody, microanalyzing everything. Bloody hell. It's just fun.
I agree with you. Who are you to question Ibushi? If you think you can make it work, what I mean? The man's earned his fucking dues. As mere fans, who are we to second guess that dude? He knows wrestling better than any of us on this side of the screen will ever know. So,
as far as Ibushi and Omega go as well, I just want if we're going to have Omega in a tag team, just give us the Golden Lovers. Why do we need Jericho? Anyway,
I agree. But my money's on, as I said, the Jets for this one.
Yeah,
I think
so too. Cool. Next one.
Yep.
So I found this one's going to be quite an interesting point of discussion. TBS title match: Chris Statlander versus Sky Blue versus Julia Hart. So, yeah, what are you thinking towards this one?
I think Julia Hart should get it. I think she's been on a roll recently. They kind of pushed the character. I think her work's awesome. She's 100% that character and totally believable. I enjoy seeing her, doing what she's doing. Plus, obviously, she's part of the House of Black. The House of Black's got a belt. It just makes them even better. So I'm always going to root for any member of the House of Black over anybody else, basically. And yeah, man, obviously Statlander's cool. She's not had much of a run with the belt, really. I don't think her title reign is going to go down as being great, but I do think Julia Hart would benefit hugely from having it. Yeah,
I mean, I do think Julia is going to get the win here, and it's probably the right decision. I'm still kind of in two minds about, the Sky Blue was corrupted and she's been all dark and mysterious, but then she kind of turned on Julia a couple of weeks ago. Something just tells me that there's going to be like another turn, and Sky is actually going to align with Julia, and that is going to be how they beat Statlander 2-on-1 kind of thing. But that's just a hunch. But yes, Julia's great. She's by far the most improved person on that entire roster in the past year. She's got the presentation, the fucking entrance is great. I love her finisher, even though it's kind of packed brutalizer. Maybe it looks similar. I'm not sure whether it's exactly the same. But yeah, like she's like what, 21?
Yeah,
she's fucking got it. She's got it going for sure. So big talent.
I mean, to be fair though, I don't think the House of Black is just a gimmick. I think those guys are all very, very tight. You can imagine all three of those guys, training her, working her, helping her improve. And you've got three amazing talents there, just to feed off of. If she wasn't improving, I'd be worried.
Yeah, for sure. That's a big plus. Yeah, and plus there's so much knowledge in the back. Not just in the House of Black, but like just in general, so much knowledge to pick up and stuff. So yeah, cool stuff.
Yep, definitely. We'll talk about it next actually, because do the House of Black have a match?
Yeah, so there's a tag team title four-way between the champs, Starks and Big Bill. Then you've got Drillistico and Roosh from LFI, F versus FTR versus Kings of the Black Throne. So the only member of the House of Black without a match on the card is Buddy. The Buddy Christ. So yeah. Four-way. This is going to be absolute carnage, this match.
I'm just glad to see House of Black have a match. That's awesome for me. Popped for Rush when he came back a few weeks ago. I was literally thinking like a week before. Yeah. I haven't seen Rush for ages. Where's Rush gone? I love Rush. Rush is like just brutality personified. Yeah, sure. And then he came back as a face. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that myself, but I think there's probably more room for a face faction because everybody's a heel, more or less, like faction-wise. So, yeah. We'll see if it suits him.
Does FTR lose again? I don't want Starks and Bill to drop the belts. I like them as champs. Yeah. First Starks to be as a single, but there's not much for him to do at the minute. So as long as he's got some sort of gold, it solidifies him. It confirms that he is awesome. I think Big Bill's cool. Obviously, we know Big Bill works well in a tag team. We saw it with he carried Enzo for fucking years. So, but then House of Black, man, I'm still gutted that House of Black lost the trios title. So if they got the tag titles, it would kind of make up for it for me.
I'd really like that if the I love the House of Black, obviously. I've got the fucking t-shirt on right now. But I felt a little bit robbed of a Kings of the Black Throne tag run. Yeah. Because Brody came in, it was Kings of the Black Throne, and that was 5 or 6 weeks before Buddy came in, so it wasn't as long as I'd have liked it, because I thought just them two as a tag team, it's just holy shit. So I don't think they're going to win, but I would absolutely fall off my chair if they won the titles with happiness. I do think the Starks and Bill should and will retain. I expect probably Drillistico to take the pin out of this match because he's the least prominent person in the match, I guess. So. Yeah, I'll go with Starks and Bill. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Like I said, I'll pop huge if House of Black win. But as a default, as a constellation, I will settle for an FTR versus House of Black feud coming out of this. And we just see those four guys going at it over the next several weeks.
Well, they've been giving FTR the old spooky treatment, haven't they, recently? They've been giving everybody the spooky treatment, which is why we've got this tag four-way, to be honest with you. So I'm all for the spooky treatment.
But yeah, definitely keep the belts on. And I think, seeing Starks and Bill against the Jets, well, it gives Starks and Bill the rub as well. If they can hold their own against Jericho and Omega, again, it solidifies just how good those guys are.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Next, let's go with Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne versus Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland. Should be entertaining for sure. Adam Copeland's AEW pay-per-view debut. Well, in wrestling, at least. I've not really got much to say about this, to be honest with you, other than Christian Cage is great. Sting, Darby, and Copeland's team are going to win. That's literally all I've got to say.
Luchasaurus or Nick to eat the pin. I think Luchasaurus will eat the pin. I think they want to protect Nick. He's obviously a fresh talent. He's young. He's good at what he does. He's just got one of those faces you want to punch. He's just a little shit, basically. I don't know. We got treated to see Nick's mum a few weeks ago. Which was mental. That's just wrestling 101. Just fight. But yeah, obviously they're not going to have Edge lose his pay-per-view debut match.
Yeah, for sure. And plus with Sting on his big retirement run, they're going to want to keep him in the Ws, really, isn't he? So I'm perfectly happy with that. So yeah, cool.
As long as Ric Flair doesn't get involved.
Oh, mate. The single worst thing AEW's ever done, in my opinion.
Ric Flair. You know they've done it as a favour to Sting. You know Sting's just been like, come on, last year, let's get Nate in.
Probably, yeah. I do realise they're trying to do well by Sting as well as they can and give him everything that he wants or whatever, but I just absolutely did not need to see Ric Flair in AEW.
No. Only silver lining would be is if they get Charlotte as a result. I would take Charlotte in the women's division.
That would be pretty cool. She's a great wrestler, but I'm also kind of bored to tears of seeing her. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, then again,
personal preference.
I'm saying that, do we need somebody to, sour the locker room kind of thing? So maybe not a good idea, in fairness. But yeah, Edge, Sting, Darby pick up the W, and Luchasaurus stares at the lights. And then hopefully we get a Adam Copeland versus Christian one-on-one match down the road, because Christian's boss. I don't want this feud to end as of this match. I want it to continue on for a little bit longer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will rumble on, but like you say, I would prefer it to just be a one-on-one. And with World's End being on December 30th, if memory serves, there is another pay-per-view on the horizon for to build towards, which is always good, because then it kind of like laser focuses the TV and the concentration on the programs and stuff. Like when you've not got like 3 months, 4 months between fucking pay-per-views, it can get a little funny at points. Yeah, a little lost. There you go.
Lost. Right, what we got next? We'll discuss the Shida Tony Storm if you want.
Yeah, cool. This should be fun. Like Tony Storm, this timeless Tony character is fucking excellent. I love it. It's gonna be. It's a weird one for me, to be honest with you, because like Shida's a 3-time champ. She's just won the belt back after being kind of like a transitional champion for Saraya to win the belt. Tony will be a 3-time champ if she wins this match. Does Tony need the belt? I think I'd prefer Shida to retain, because that would give her a bit more of a, definite title reign, you know what I mean? Rather than just being another transitional champion. I don't think Timeless Tony's character needs it. But, with this Mariah May debuting, who she's practically pledged her allegiance to Timeless Tony, I could see some shenanigans going on there maybe, and the belt actually changing. I'm 50-50, but I think I'd rather Shida retain, but we shall see.
I'm still gutted Paige Saraya dropped to Shida. So I don't know if it's through an injury or what were the reasons behind, kind of thing. But it didn't make any sense to me for Saraya to drop it. I would rather she dropped it to Tony down the line, kind of thing. The whole Outcasts connection. Shida, I don't know. I kind of respect her as a AEW, OG. But without the belt, she doesn't do anything. So she needs to keep the belt to have a purpose for me. She hasn't done enough without the belt to mean anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like the women's world title, it's kind of just been flailing in the wind a bit, hasn't it, for quite some time? Like Britt Baker made that title feel so special, and then I forget, Britt Baker lost it to was it Tony Storm? I can't remember now. But then Jamie Hayter won it, and then she made it seem like a big deal as well. But ever since, like, both those ladies got injured respectively, because I think Britt Baker's quite banged up. She's got quite a bad back injury by all accounts. the women's division just seems to be the title picture at least seems to be a bit like, right, you're not working, you'll do, you're not working, you'll do kind of thing, which is a bit disappointing really. But I think they really need like a big star, maybe two big names to come into that women's division. Like Deanna Purrazzo from TNA is apparently out of contract real soon. That would be a fucking stellar addition. You've got Mercedes Moné will come in at some point. She just will. I don't know whether it's going to be like full time or whatever, but guest appearances. But just something to shake up the women's division and give it a bit more oomph, because they deserve it, and something's just not quite on the level that it was once with Britt Baker's world title reign. It was so good. So she's missed, and so is Jamie Hayter. So so there's my 2 cents.
Well, I totally agree with you, mate. I sort of thoroughly enjoyed the women's division for a long time, but yeah, it kind of just seems to be directionless at the minute. And that's not due to the lack of talent. The people they've got there are awesome. I don't know if they're struggling to book them, whether they're struggling to. I mean, they got Taya Valkyrie. She kind of comes in and out. She had a really good feud with Jade Cargill and then kind of dipped out again. The talent's there. It's just like, I don't think they kind of struggle to give them focus or direction sometimes.
A little bit, yeah. Maybe if Stat does drop the TBS title, that will free her up to then go up into the main women's title picture, because it just seems to be the same few people. And like, I was into the idea of giving Saraya that big moment at Wembley, and it was a huge moment, like being there. Everybody was just so happy for her and stuff like that, but then she didn't really offer much as a champion other than that moment kind of thing, which is but yeah, some direction for that title would be great for me.
Nice. So my money's on Tony, just because I don't think the character needs it. But I think the character is one of the best things about AEW at the minute. It's something that's memorable. God bless her. It probably took cojones to be like, right, this is what I want to do. I'm going to explain the character. This is how it's going to work. It sounds fucking mental, but it just works. It could have gone totally the other way and just been absolutely fucking cringe, but she's pulled it off. Credit to Toni Storm, she's making it work. Doesn't need a belt, but I think she will get the belt.
Yeah, maybe so. Which I'm fine with. But yeah, I'm 50-50. So yeah, cool.
Cool. What's next?
International title: Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley 2.
See, I thought he was going to lead with this one, to be honest with you. When I sort of said we'll go from least interested to most interested, I thought this was going to be your first match, given your iffiness with Mox.
I think it's quite more interesting actually, because obviously Mox, the big thing going into the match, it was Wrestle Dream, was it? Or All Out? It was All Out, wasn't it? Was it All Out? Yeah, I think it was All Out. Yeah, because they had the big Stadium Stampede All In, and then the next week it was All Out, and it was that. So yeah, the big thing was that Orange Cassidy was like, I've beaten everybody, and now I've beaten all the members of the BCC, and now I need to prove myself by defeating you. Mox beat the absolute living piss out of him and took the title, but then also got a concussion like the following couple of weeks afterwards or whatever, and then had to obviously drop the belt. I am now wondering if they're just going to kind of press like reset and rewind kind of thing, with Mox winning the title like the original plan, or whether they're going to say to Orange Cassidy, you didn't win the last match, but you deserve this, so we're going to give you the huge win over Mox on a pay-per-view, which I'm kind of hoping for, because Orange Cassidy is absolutely busted his ass this year for that title. And I know it's all scripted and blah 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 blah, but that moment where he realised he wasn't champion anymore, oh mate, it's like the Ralph Wiggum heartbreak meme. So I hope he gets his moment back.
Yeah, I agree. I think to me, this is Moxley's bigger than this belt. Not to besmirch the belt, not to besmirch OC. But Moxley's always main event level. He's always should be around that scene or elevating people to that scene. Cassidy works so well with this belt. And yeah, give him that moment. Let him beat Moxley. Let him stand there with the belt and just bask in it, kind of thing. Enjoy the moment. And it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good match, regardless. In all fairness, I was excited for this match. I didn't know if you would be. But I've been down with Cassidy since day one-ish. And yeah, I just like the guy's matches. I like the guy's work. He's looking the business now as well. I've seen his body's transformed over the last few years. The dude's building up a bit of muscle, and he's looking like a professional wrestler now. Just a very, very chilled out one.
Very much so. Yeah, I mean, like I've already said, I kind of hope Orange Cassidy gets the win, but I would not be at all surprised if Mox gets the win. So, but like you say, I'm not overly convinced Mox needs this title, because you know what I mean. Everybody knows Jon Moxley, and I kind of prefer someone a bit more mid card. Yeah. Raise them up by being the champ, or it's a reward for working so hard and stuff. So
there's nothing wrong with that. We're not saying mid card as an insult. Like, Cassidy's, think of him as like the gatekeeper and stuff. Some of the guys he's worked with, but if Cassidy keeps it, I want to see Cassidy versus Andrade. I want to see Cassidy versus Miro. I want to see, those guys.
Dude, I was literally just thinking Andrade as international champion, and then you said it like within 3 seconds. So,
imagine Andrade versus Cassidy. That'd be a match. That's a pay-per-view match. But again, those guys with that belt, it'll just elevate them. They can hold it for a while, and then, who's to say Cassidy won't, be a main event player? You could quite easily put him in a title match, and I think the fans would support it. Whether they think he'll win or not is a different story at the minute. But, he's they always talk about the 4 pillars. For me, man, Cassidy should be considered an honorary pillar within AEW.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with that. He's put in the hard yards for sure, regardless of what people have said about him. Cat's great. People like legends of the business are requesting to work with him. Why would he give a shit about what some idiots on the internet are saying over like Shibata and Danielson and whoever else is like requested to work with him, Jericho. So,
That's it. I've always said from day one, the guys come up with the character, with the gimmick we've never seen before. You know how hard that is in wrestling to come up with an original character, to own that character, to make that character work and get him over. That is unreal, and that just does not get the amount of respect that I think it should.
I agree with that for sure. Yeah. Which leads us to the last 2 matches we've got. So we've got 2 matches involving MJF. So should we do the ROH tag titles first?
That's on the pre-show, innit? So yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be on the pre-show. So it's MJF and a mystery partner versus the Guns. It's likely the mystery partner will be Samoa Joe. Are you thinking the same?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, because I think Joe's getting kind of face reactions now, and he's kind of gone from being the bad guy to being so cool as a bad guy that he's getting, he's turned face again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
it's funny. It's funny to me because the silhouette looks like Daniel Garcia. if you look at the silhouette next to MJF, it really looks like Daniel Garcia, and with them having a really good match recently, like an MJF having a go at him saying be a professional wrestler, all that kind of stuff, and there's the JAS is all breaking down and all that kind of shit. So I'm not sure whether it's Garcia or whether it's Samoa Joe, but I suppose we'll find out, won't we? Who do you want to win?
If MJF loses, I kind of feel bad for Adam Cole, baby. He's lost his belt without being involved through injury. That's part of the business. But when they lose them, I want, whoever beats them to beat MJF and Adam Cole kind of thing, because that just automatically makes the team valid. But I think the Guns will get it, just because obviously I don't think Jay White's going to win. I think MJF will lose a belt tonight. Well, tomorrow night.
Yeah. I'm in two minds here. I feel like MJF should retain. So then the Adam Cole story, when he returns, there's more to work with. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm a bit stuck with this one, to be honest with you. I'll just go with MJF and mystery partner.
The Guns are former tag team champs, AEW tag team champs. They work well as a team. As fans, could we buy, two single, as good as two single wrestlers are, a tag team should always be able to beat two single wrestlers because they're a team against two separate entities. That's always, as a fan, that's my mindset. That's always been my mindset.
Yeah.
I hate it when they put two single stars together. And there'd be an actual tag team kind of thing. It just, it winds me up. But I do think, I don't know with this one. I'm totally torn. It's a flip of a coin. Logically, Guns should win. I think MJF will retain, as you said, to maintain the Adam Cole connection.
Which then leads us on to the main event. You've already kind of alluded to it. So MJF and Jay White for the AEW World Title. The title that Jay White's already been carried around for the past 2 months, I might add. How do you see this one going down?
The result I want is not the result I'm going to get, unfortunately. I'm the same as you. You said this to me in the past. Anybody else root for MJF? I love MJF as champ. I think he carries the belt really well. His promo's a boss. But it's Jay White, man. If anybody's going to beat MJF, I want it to be Jay White. I want Jay White to be AEW champion. That just sounds surreal. That just absolutely blows my mind. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
The belt looks so good on him, doesn't it? Like it's just meant to be there. I mean, the way I'm looking at it now is obviously we spoke about this a little while ago. Like, I think now with the story of MJF, with all the people coming after him and the World's End pay-per-view being in his hometown of is Long Island. Is it Long Island or something? Yeah. I forget. Yeah. So anyway, the next pay-per-view is in his hometown. So that says to me that MJF's going to retain here and leave with the belt after not having it for like X amount of time. What I want from this match, however, is so Jay White's calling card basically was just like half hour, 45 minute, 50-minute matches. Absolutely brilliant fucking stories. And MJF's really good at that as well. So what I want from this match is just like a 45-minute absolute fucking belter match. So give me that, gentlemen, and I don't care who wins because they're both elite, quite literally. So, but yeah, there will be some shenanigans because Bullet Club Gold will come down and start being cheeky monkeys, and MJF doesn't really have any friends to defend himself against the Bullet Club Gold and stuff, or I don't know, maybe Roddy Strong and the Kingdom will come down. Adam! I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird in that sense. Obviously, yes, Jay's got the backup. Whoever's MJF's partner early on in the night they may come down and lend a bit of a hand. Who knows? But yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, MJF retains. I would love it if Jay White won, but as you pointed out, the next show being in Long Island screams MJF coming out as champion at that show. I'm happy either way, but I would love it if Jay White won. But again, though, MJF being face, I want heel MJF back.
Yeah, I do miss the heel MJF. Which was, I was going to ask you about this. So the devil mask, the devil. There's so many rumors going around at the moment. Who do you think is likely to be behind the devil mask?
I don't know. I just hope it's a real bastard. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious choice would be Adam Cole, with maybe Kyle O'Reilly and the Kingdom and Roddy in the masks as well. Obvious doesn't always mean bad in my opinion, but that's the most obvious choice. I've seen people making massive cases for it being like CM Punk, which is hilarious. Like, I don't know. I've seen someone suggested it could be Mercedes Moné, but I doubt that. I've seen people suggesting that it's MJF. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that it didn't exist. So, have this group attacking all MJF's minions and like associates. The Acclaim got taken out and Adam Cole and all that kind of stuff. And then for it to just be MJF being like, fuck you guys, it was me all along.
But did you pick up on my bastard comment?
Say that again?
Did you pick up on my bastard comment?
Bastard?
I hope it's a bastard.
You hope it's a bastard? Pac? Ooh. You think that makes sense?
I just think it would elevate Pac back up. I just want to see Pac in the main event. And if it's fucking, part of me would love it if it was. Logically, I don't know if it works, but yeah, you give me Pac back on it in AEW, I'll take it every day of the week.
Yeah, depends if he's back from injury, because he came back from having like a reconstructed nose, and then had like 2 great weeks, and then injured himself against Claudio, and now he's injured again, which sucks. The absolute worst case scenario that I've seen suggested to be the behind the devil mask is Jack Perry. Please don't be Jack Perry. We just don't need that in our lives. Like, it's fine for him to be one of the henchmen, I guess, but it cannot be the devil, because it would just make everybody facepalm and laugh. Yeah.
What about what's Sammy been? Oh, it's obviously think he's pregnant, so I'm take it he's off kind of doing daddy stuff and looking after the mum to be.
Sammy Guevara is a member of the Don Callis family, but sustained a concussion, so he's out taking care of his head at the moment. So he's already taken right
course. It's not Sammy. Yeah, if it's not Pac, I would like, just because it means we get heel MJF back. I would love it to be MJF. Like I said, just the greatest trick the devil ever pulled. In his case, was to convince you that he was a good guy.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of theories and bits and pieces floating around. CM Punk's really been milking it up on his Instagram stories. By the way, he's been posting pictures of himself as the devil, and just being a cheeky monkey. Like he knows what it's all about, so he's doing that. But it can't be allowed to be Jack Perry. Adam Cole makes the most sense. CM Punk would break the internet. I do wonder whether Wardlow is going to be one of the masked assailants, because he's been alluding to. Well, he's not been alluding to. He's been threatening MJF overtly. And then on Dynamite, did you see after his promo, the person in the devil mask kind of flashed onto the screen, and then it went on to the next segment. It was like a second, blinking you'll miss it, but it was fucking there.
So, okay. Yeah, I mean, Wardlow's got to be involved in some way, shape or form.
I would love that. I think that'd be really good for Wardlow.
Not as the main guy, not yet. Have him like be the muscle again kind of thing. Give him a purpose, give him a direction.
Yes.
Let him do what he does best, which is just go out and beat the shit out of people. Just on the back of the Wardlow thing, I just want to say this. One of the things recently, also when I've been watching, is I think it was a few weeks ago. I forgot to mention this to you. Is I wasn't looking at the screen at first, so I didn't see like who was what the match was going to be. I just looked up and saw Matt Sydal in the ring. And I was like, "Hey, Matt's back! Love Matt. I ain't seen Matt for ages. This is going to be." Next minute, I'm like, "Oh bollocks, it's Wardlow." And yeah, Sydal was done in like 10 seconds. I was like, "Oh,
dog meat."
Poor Matt.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
tagging with Christopher Daniels on ROH TV quite often. Matt Sydal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't get a chance to watch ROH anywhere near as much as I should do. So at least they're still using them. That's cool.
Yeah. So so something I've been meaning to ask you for a little while. How are you feeling on AEW lately? Because it's quite up and down, shall we say? Even for myself, who's like a day one fan. Sometimes it's pushing me to the limits, but I'm still here. I'm devout. What about yourself?
I'm still a fan. It's not must see TV for me now as it was, for the first couple of years. I was on it, man, straight away. Blah 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 blah. Still watching it, but it's kind of, I need to check actually. I might have shot myself in the foot here, but I've cancelled my AEW Plus subscription on Fight. I'm just going to go back to watching online TV4 on a Friday night. At one point I was like, bang, Thursday morning, bosh, I'm getting this watched. Whereas now I'm kind of like, I can wait till Friday, save myself £6 a month. But I did check if Collision's on ITV, and I don't think it is. So that means I no longer will be able to watch Collision. So no doubt I will pay for AEW Plus again. But that kind of speaks volumes in regards to your question for me. That I'm quite happy just to wait now until Friday and just watch it on ITV4.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. And if you're not one to follow loads of wrestling pages on Facebook and have everything spoiled for you, then that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's still something I look forward to every week. But it's I don't know. Some weeks are really good, and then some weeks are just kind of okay, and some weeks are just like, I don't know. It's a bit up and down, but it's going to take a lot for me to give up watching it because I'm a day one fan. I get up and stay up till stupid o'clocks every week watching the shows and stuff because I'm just a fucking fanatic. So I want them to do well so badly, and they have been doing really well. But I just feel like recently there's been a little bit of a identity crisis. I saw a video. Someone did a video on AEW having a bit of an identity crisis in recent times, and I understood that, like, the signings. It's like, obviously they're on like a big network now, and they're having to pander to the network. And then if they want to be taking steps to be like the real big wrestling company they've got the potential to be, then they need to like do more kind of sports entertainment kind of stuff, and then signing people that, just like me personally don't want to see. Like, I'm happy for Adam Copeland, and it makes sense for him to come over, so that's fine. But like, as we've already discussed, Ric Flair, and then like, I don't know what people's thoughts on CJ Perry are, but I just don't want to see him on AEW. I just don't. I don't at all. Although I am quite liking the dynamic between her and Miro, so I'm a bit torn on that one. But as her by herself, I'm just not interested whatsoever.
The silver lining with Perry for me is if it keeps Miro happy and keeps him at AEW, that's a hit I will take to keep Miro.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fair. But yeah, just a few other things I can't think of at this very moment in time. But yeah. Anyway.
No, I mean you're right. It's like I say, the biggest thing for me is like we've talked about it. We're gonna have to do an episode on it at some point, not in a negative way, but just like as a discussion. Is the momentum thing. One thing I am liking at the minute is this Don Callis thing. I love the fact that Hobbs is now back, rubbing shoulders with the big boys. He's been made to feel like a big deal. Kyle Fletcher's involved. I mean, he about a month ago, I think he went 2 or 3 weeks and had absolute bangers on Dynamite and Collision back to back over a few weeks. Kyle Fletcher's amazing. It's just, but yeah. So I think they're still kind of getting the balance right of you got your Adam Copeland's, but then you got Fletcher's and you got your Hobbs, kind of mixing it up with the big boys. But yeah, it's lost. It's lost a bit of the spark. Like I said, I'm still a fan. I still watch it. I will still root for it. Every day of the week. I think we need two credible companies. To challenge each other to make the other product better. And whether the tribal fans want to admit it or not, AEW have made WWE step up a little bit. I think they've kind of realised they won't admit it's competition, but they're keeping their eye on the ball a bit more now because they've got to. And I think, just as wrestling fans, we need two companies. So obviously, I want AEW to do well. Still enjoy the product. But yeah, it's just lost that little bit of a spark. And, I hope they get it back. I hope they kind of can ride this out and then just come out of it and be like, look, yeah, okay, AEW's back. We are AEW. We're not, AEW NXT kind of thing. It's just.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. But yeah, I resonate with that. Like, it's lost a little bit of its shine. It kind of goes through this little, some weeks. The week to week, the weekly TV shows. Some are good, some are like okay, some are really really fucking fantastic, and then it just kind of like they go into like this little bit of a lull period where people are just kind of like it's not that good. But then the pay-per-views come around and they're amazing, like 10 out of 10 shows, and everyone's just like, oh shit, this is fucking amazing, and then it's just rinse and repeat kind of thing. So. Yeah, it'd be nice for them to get that like white hot kind of feel back because a couple of years ago it literally was white hot. They could do no wrong. The stories were there, the names were coming in, they were flocking in. Now there's probably maybe a little bit too many. They're struggling to give everybody the appropriate time, and I feel like Tony Khan's probably spreading himself too thin because he's got AEW, he's got ROH, he's got Fulham, he's got the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I think there's something else that he owns or has something to do with running. And it's just like, do you not sleep?
He wants to be Vinnie Mac. He wants to operate on 2 hours sleep a night, unfortunately. And as much as I hate what the guy's turned into. Is just a genetic freak. There's very few people on this earth like Vince McMahon, work ethic wise or workability wise kind of thing. So as many humans would fucking die of a heart attack, 30 years ago if we tried doing what he does. So yeah, I think Khan, I mean, I read somewhere, you'll know more about this. We've talked about this before. I don't do the dirt sheets. I don't keep myself in the loop. I've literally taken myself out of that now, and I just watch the product. I don't read news or anything like that when it comes to wrestling. But I've heard obviously Bryan Danielson has kind of stepped up in the wake of CM Punk. Danielson is very much kind of a creative force on Collision.
Yeah, for sure. He's become a locker room leader more so. Him, Jericho, and Moxley were the ones that were reported to be the ones that have stepped up the most and do the most backstage and help out and creative and all this kind of stuff. And it's just the kind of thing that you would have expected. But yeah, great. Like, you can't really go wrong with those three great minds mixed in with everybody else back there and stuff. So
But that explains Collision to me, man. Collision is, for me, when I think of Collision, I generally think 45, 50-minute bangers. You know, whether it happens every week or not. But I mean, that tag match, man, that hour-long sort of tag match with FTR versus Juice and Jay, that's Collision for me. That is, if Danielson's got his fingers in that now, that makes all the sense in the world, because that's just what Danielson would do. He'd want. But again, that's what AEW was back in the day. It was just solid wrestling.
Yeah.
And if they can get back to that, they'll smash it again. And I'm sure they will.
Yeah, for sure. So, rewinding back to Full Gear, I almost said Wrestle Dream then. So there is Tony Khan said that there is a mystery AEW signing to be announced at Full Gear, and there has been a lot of ponderance over who it might be. I personally think it could be Shibata, because he's been working per appearance, and he said in the Wrestle Dream media scrum that he would like to make things official. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was Shibata. It could. Sami Callihan's been rumored to be coming over, which would be cool, but does it really warrant like an announcement kind of thing? You could just turn up and it'd be like, all right, there's Sami Callihan kind of thing. Not to downplay Sami Callihan and how awesome he is, but it needs to be a proper statement signing. Like, I don't think it's going to be Mercedes Moné. That's been shot down by multiple sources. Andrew Zarian is someone I kind of like to believe a little bit more than others, because he seems quite more level-headed than most. But he has heard that it's Will Ospreay. So WWE have been showing some real interest in Will Ospreay. So that is making me wonder whether AEW have just been like, what do you want? There it is. Boom. We'll buy you out the rest of your contract. Sorted, mate. We'll see. We'll see.
That to me is best case. Obviously, Spatters would be awesome, but Ospreay, man, bruv, seriously, that would just be like, if they get Ospreay, man, that's got my attention back. Just for the match possibilities, not to besmirch Sami Callihan. He would be cool. I'd love to see him and Mox do something. They've got that history. They used to be a tag team back in the way. But there's no way Callihan is worthy of a big announcement. No offense. Anybody who lives in a bubble when it comes to wrestling will be like, oh, it's that dude from NXT like 5 years ago. They'll have no idea of what he's done at Impact or of what he did previously. So, to 87% of the wrestling, IWC who don't know any better, that's just going to be like a bullshit announcement, and Tony Khan's going to look like a fool. Yeah,
for sure. And we need less of the Tony Khan looking like a fool. If it's not Ospreay, who else could it be, really? So, I mean, take your pick. I mean, the people have been theorizing about the the recent WWE releases, like Mustafa Ali, Dolph Ziggler, but with the 90-day release clauses, it's December 20th is the earliest they can sign elsewhere. So it won't be any of them. But it is heavily rumored that Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, is coming over to tag with his brother.
I would say Ryan's there already, isn't he? So.
Yeah. I would really, really, really love. I mean, I have the same feeling towards Mustafa Ali that I did about Swerve when Swerve got released. Like, Mustafa Ali is fucking mustard, and he's got a lot of potential. So add him into that roster. Let's just fucking do it. Just do it.
I mean, we talked about the international belt. I mean, OC versus Mustafa, man, that would be a pay-per-view match worthy. I think WWE knew how good Mustafa was because they kept trying to include him in stuff, but then they just got bored after a few weeks. It's like, the dude, give him something he can bite his teeth into.
Yeah,
Ali is fucking like he's mustard, man. He's
great.
the dude can do stuff. He's legitimately a very awesome human being as well. So all the success to him. If he does get this sign in, hopefully it clicks and the dude hits the ground running. That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Love Ziggler. Unfortunately, the next sentence is kind of going to sum this up. I love Ziggler 15 years ago. I love Ziggler fucking 12 years ago.
yeah.
He's a Johnny Drip Drip for me. I love John Morrison, but sporadically, yeah, it'd be cool to see. I don't want to see him taking TV time off people that should be getting it.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that with Dolph Ziggler. It kind of feels like he just accepted that WWE were never really going to push him again, even though he deserved it. Like that Money in the Bank cash in, winning the world title, is one of my favorite moments, like ever. It was just unreal. Like he deserved it so much, but then obviously he got a concussion and it never worked out. But then I don't know. I think as the years clocked on, he just kind of accepted his role as I'll just kind of stick around and do whatever kind of thing. His little run in NXT was decent against Braun Breaker for the NXT title. That was good. But for the most part, I've not really seen a lot of what Ziggler's been up to. He was in the a tag team with Bobby Roode, wasn't he? But Bobby Roode got injured.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd like to see them tag together. That would be cool.
It'd be cool for them.
But I'm not chomping at the bit to see it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he does come over, I can see him filling up some TV time on Rampage. That's we'll see the Nemeth boys. Having numerous matches on Rampage. That'll be my prediction.
Yeah, well, yeah, you probably see him heavily on Dynamite for a couple of weeks, and then he'll just kind of disappear. And like most new signings, yeah. So we shall see. But yeah, another month or so to go before then those guys are available.
Yeah, that's it. So we'll see. I'm sure, like I say, man, fingers crossed, Ospreay, but Japan, that'd be boss. I hope Callahan does turn up, just to mix it with Moxley a little bit. I think that'll light a fire under Moxley's arse. That'll kind of make his character freshen up a little bit. We'll just get to see some brutality, man. Those guys will just rip each other to shit, but in the most entertaining way possible.
I do think Sami Callihan would be quite well fitted to the BCC. But at this point, the BCC is absolutely not what I want it to be at all. So they might as well just add another older fella in. Older, you know what I mean? Like more experienced, a veteran dude rather than more like younger talent. Because that's what the whole idea was in the beginning, was to be like this training ground with the two grizzly old veterans, with like two young lions, I guess, or whatever, to train them up in that. But it never worked out that way, and now it's just been like three older guys and Wheeler. So I don't know. I'm kind of like not that interested in the BCC lately, to be honest with you. I haven't been for quite some time. The idea in the beginning was great, but what it is now and what it's been for quite some time is just not for me.
No, I agree. I mean, obviously everybody involved is awesome, but yeah, it's kind of lost its path. It's lost its direction again, which is something we say often. So, but we can talk about them in the direction episode, we'll call it at some point. But yeah, obviously Full Gear tomorrow night. As you sort of said, AEW, regardless of my thoughts or my willingness to wait to watch the TV programs, pay-per-views always deliver, man. You always kind of go away thinking about numerous matches, massive smile on your face, and Full Gear is going to deliver in spades. I'm sure it will do.
Yeah, I'm not actually able to watch this live, so I'm a bit stressed out by trying to find the time to squeeze it into my dad life. So it's been the first time I've not watched a pay-per-view live in probably 2 years.
Well, Last I think last time you didn't watch them on live, we watched the next morning, like from like 9 o'clock or something. You know, pack the kids off, and then we watched wrestling on the morning.
It was the Forbidden Door, wasn't it?
Well,
The very first Forbidden Door. Okay, then. Well, a year and a bit, then, not 2 years. Yeah, it was the very first Forbidden Door.
Yeah, but yeah, tomorrow night AEW. Enjoy. If you're watching this and you've never watched AEW and you kind of wanted to know about the product, get the pay-per-view. You'll thoroughly enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
After you watch this, go back and watch some of the earlier ones as well, though, just to see just how awesome it is, just to understand the last 15 minutes of this conversation.
Yeah, for sure. And then go and watch All In from Wembley this year, because it really, 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 really was just amazing.
And obviously they've announced, you know, they're coming back next year to do it again.
Yeah.
I just would love it if they kind of came over a few days earlier and maybe did a Dynamite or a Collision, you know, in like a Manchester or Liverpool or Sheffield or something, you know, just gave some of the fans who can't make the trip down to London a chance to see, you know, just see something.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Well, yeah. It's like, have you seen that WWE have planned a show in Germany, like the week before? I think it's, yeah, the week before All In.
Okay.
It's quite cheeky actually, because like I was curious how WWE were going to try and like kind of interfere with AEW doing so well at Wembley and stuff like that. But it seems to me that they've purposefully gone for mainland Europe a week before All In, so then, you know, people will be least likely to flock to Wembley when they could flock to Germany, kind of thing. And you're spending up on one, you can't spend on the other, kind of thing. But anyway, it's just shenanigans and stuff. It's just
a little bit of cheekiness.
It's classic WWE, though, isn't it? Really.
Of course it is. So, but yes, people, obviously, like I say, Full Gear tomorrow night. Watch it, enjoy it. Just enjoy wrestling. That's.
Amen.
I think I've just got my new sign off. But before we do that, Mr. Ash, where can people find you on the socials?
Yeah, so my personal is at Tankle_Grimoire. And I run the Work the Left Side Instagram page, which is at WTLS316. Give us a follow, give us a shout, chat, talk, reply to the stories, all that good stuff.
Say hello. Obviously, we're on Twitter as well, which is my domain, which is WTLS420. And yeah, we've got a group on Facebook. Just search Work the Left Side on Facebook. Come join us on there. Have a conversation. Post some posts. We'll talk about them. And yeah, that's it really. So obviously, hit like, hit subscribe, share, comment. Do as much as you want to do after watching this. Just to all the clicks help, all the comments help. Click the notification so you know when future episodes drop. And our local, obviously we're both Leeds based. Neither of us are actually Leeds boys, but we have somehow found ourselves in this city. The best promotion in Leeds. I've got to say that now because I'm biased. But True Grit have a show on the 25th of November. Mm-hmm. So next Saturday night, maybe the last chance you get to see Leon Slater in these shows before he goes to TNA. So I was looking forward the other day. So yeah, before he goes to TNA, Leon Slater in a ladder match with his tag team partner Jet Marshall against Misery Business against Crash Boat to be crowned the new PDW tag team champions, among many other matches. But obviously, yes, Work the Left Side now sponsors True Grit. So we are officially a partnership. We are on this, and obviously I'll be at the shows. Don't know if Mr. Ash has bought his tickets yet, but
haven't yet. I keep putting it off for some stupid reason, but I have decided I'm going many weeks ago, but I've just not bought a ticket yet because I'm just shite. I will procure a ticket very, very shortly. I promise.
Well, if you see us there, obviously say hi. I'm easy to miss. Mr. Ash is like fucking In wrestling terms, he's nearly 7 foot tall. So you will see.
I was talking to someone today about how like the Undertaker was always billed as 6'10" when he's actually probably about 6'7". Yeah,
7'2".
I know,
Nah, mate.
it's hilarious.
But yeah, see us there. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again very, very soon. Adios. I'll sign off. Wrestling fans, just enjoy wrestling.